Welcome to today's episode called Right Speech. And right speech is the third point of the eightfold path, and it's actually part of a group of three that fall under the category morality. The other two are right conduct and right livelihood. We'll get into those later. Today it's all about right speech. So, when I would ask you, what do you think goes with right speech? You might actually have a pretty good idea. It's about not lying, not gossiping, no speaking harsh words to intentionally hurt somebody else. It's about not ranting, calling names, all that sort of thing. That all goes with right speech. Now, why is it important to speak right? So when you see these points, the things that fall under right speech, it is important to realize that some of these things, when you do them, they can throw you off balance. You know, they can bring up strong emotions when you do them, not just with yourself, but with other people too. So that is the first reason why it's important to speak right. And then another thing with some of these things here is because they come from a solid belief that you are right. And because you are right, that's why it is as if you're entitled to do these things. So that's another reason why you shouldn't do it, because as so many times we said it, like, you know, like nothing is the same. So you know, to act as if it is just ignorant or wrong, or just doesn't get you anywhere. That sounds more friendly. So that is an important thing. Now, the last thing with these things, when you do them, is the power of words. And that is an important lesson. My teacher, Ponlop Rinpoche, told a funny story about when I had my lessons with him. Because words can have such a big impact on all of us. And so what Ponlop said, there was this teacher and he did a whole speech about the impact of words, the power of words. And so he was telling, you know, what was all a part of it, just like I am now. And there was this one student interrupting, hello. So I don't really believe, you know, these things. And the teacher sort of thought, okay, and didn't go into it, and kept telling all these things about the power of words. And again, this student said, nah, I find it all, you know, a load of bollocks. Can I say that? Yeah, okay. You know, I find it all a load of nonsense. That's what the student said. And so, you know, but the teacher sort of, you know, didn't respond really. And then again, you know, like after the teacher was talking, he interrupted again that student and said, like, you know, oh, why is, what, you know, what should we do with this thing, the power of words? And the teacher sort of said, like, I really wish you would stop talking all the time, you know, you are such a nuisance. So the student was all taken aback, like, okay, and he kept quiet for the rest of the time. So at the end, the teacher said, like, you know, because he'd been telling, like, the power of words is so important, to be friendly and have some compassion for the people around you. And this student sort of hardly dared, but put up his finger, said, you know, you're on about compassion and being friendly. So why were you being so harsh with me? You know, like, because, you know, why did you say those things to me? And so the teacher said, does it bother you? He says, yes, it does. He said, the power of words. So my teacher told it in a completely different way, but I mean, that's basically what it came down to. And it is an important thing to realize, you know, like we are not the only ones that grab onto something and keep going over, churning, you know, like, and having discussions in your head while the situation is already long gone. And this grabbing onto things, making things solid, is a habit you're not easily rid of. So if you say unkind things, it has that same effect on somebody else. So that is the power of words. So that is why it's so important to speak right. And actually, this is a good point to start with, just to give it a try. just say, okay, you know, I now resolve to, for the next week, I will actually try and speak in a kind way to bring peace and harmony, so to not upset others. It's a good thing to practice and see, you know, how you fare. So you don't have to do it, but maybe you can try and see how that goes for you. But anyway, this was all I had to say to you for today. And I hope that you found it interesting. I hope you will maybe try to practice with it. See you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.